I always imagined having kids, definitely. I always thought it was going to be part of my life.
I've always wanted to have kids. Ever since I was a teenager, I always knew that I wanted to have multiple kids.
Ever since I was as young as I can remember, I would, play house and want to be a mom.
One of the biggest challenges for young women with breast cancer is fertility. The majority of young women that are diagnosed with breast cancer are estrogen receptor positive, which means that after chemotherapy, they face a lot of years of post-treatment, which can really affect their fertility.
When I was diagnosed, I felt very strongly that I needed to do fertility preservation. It wasn't on the forefront of my surgeon's mind. I had to advocate for myself.
I did not do any fertility preservation.
I still knew kids were a while away, and I was so consumed with what was happening to me that I didn't push it, I didn't investigate any further.
And there's just kind of a lot of unknowns. It just felt too rushed, and I didn't feel confident in the decision.
They have their chemotherapy, but then they're looking at 5 to 10 years of estrogen therapy, which is continuing to impact their fertility. And so, if you're diagnosed in your early 30s, 10 years, that's, a gap that is really your prime time for having a baby.
Right now, I'm about 1.5 years into my treatment. So that means that when I finish treatment, I'll be at least 37 years old.
I need to take the tamoxifen for up to 10 years. And while I take it, it has been recommended to me that I do not get pregnant while taking the pill because it is known to have harmful effects to the fetus.
I had this vision in my head of how I wanted the next couple of years to play out, and the vision was gone.
So the baby time study is also called the positive study. And what the positive study is, a really exciting international study, asking the question of whether it's safe for women with endocrine-sensitive breast cancer, young women who want to get pregnant and have a baby, whether it's safe for them to stop their endocrine therapy for about 2 years and have a pregnancy and possibly even breastfeed. Women are asking, if I take 2 years off my endocrine therapy, is that going to mean that my breast cancer is going to come back more readily? We don't know that. We don't think so, but we need data.
I don't have any good information or research or statistics to go on to tell me what would happen if I decide to go off my hormonal therapy and get pregnant. So I'm forced to make the decision of stay on my hormonal therapy and don't have a child, or go off and have a child and possibly risk my breast cancer coming back.
My oncologist didn't like the idea of me going off tamoxifen at all. She actually wants me to do the full course before I start to have a family, but it's not something that I'm willing to wait for.
When I was thinking about coming off tamoxifen, it was a really hard decision, and of course, you're terrified that you're going to come off and breast cancer is going to come back.
We're so excited that the positive trial is addressing some of the urgent questions our young patients have. Is it safe to temporarily interrupt treatment for breast cancer and try to get pregnant? Rethink Breast Cancer is committed to raising $100,000 for the Baby Time trial to take place in Canada. We need to raise $25,000 this year in order to start enrolling patients and really kick off this trial.
The results from the Baby Time study would ease my mind greatly.
It's my hope that with this study, future generations of young women who are like me and have been diagnosed with breast cancer and want to start a family won't have to make this impossible decision.